from what I heard is that that he was actually trying to protect those children. That's what kind of gave him this whole thing about protecting children. That's why he built the Neverland. That was the narrative I heard, is that because he saw what was happening in Hollywood to children, and also the fact that he was a victim of it, made him super like sensitive towards children, and that's why he did what he did. Not so much about like being one. And also, I think that because of the fact that he grew up in Hollywood, he didn't trust anybody, and he probably felt that children were probably the most innocent people that he could trust because, all adults, because of who he was, were kind of snakes. So, I'm just imagining what it's like to be in Hollywood your entire life, from a child, and then you're like the biggest pop star in the world. Who can you really trust but an innocent child? That's what it sounds like to me.
So, so you think he is innocent?
I don't. I think. Yeah, I don't think that he did anything to children. I think. I mean, Macaulay Culkin said that he didn't do anything to him, and he went on record on in court saying that he didn't. I mean, so that means he has to testify under oath. He has to swear. Otherwise, he is doing perjury and he can go to prison. So, or jail for perjury. So why would he? Why would he testify under perjury, under getting this what you call a perjury, that nothing ever happened, and that it was just a matter of, because Michael Jackson identified with Macaulay Culkin. That's why Macaulay Culkin ended up getting what's it called, emancipated from his own father at a certain age because of how they were treating him in Hollywood. Those kids get what's the word? They get exploited even sometimes by their own parent. And Michael Jackson saw that and he befriended those kids, and that's what he was trying to do, was stop kids from being exploited.
So you think it's more likely that Michael Jackson was the secret superhero within a predatory industry than part of the predatory industry that he's part of?
Thank you. Exactly. That's what I believe.
Okay.
So last question for you, Genesis, since you got here. Do you think if he didn't ostracize his dad, Joe, do you think his future will be better or worse? Because that was the last question I had for the show. I want everybody to repeat, right? Once Michael Jackson kind of separated himself from his dad and all that, we kind of know what happened afterwards. Do y'all think if he let his dad run his empire in the way that, like, do you think he actually would have be still, for example, be alive today, a better results, or do you think he would still fall?
I don't think he would have been as successful and as big and huge as he was. Because think about this, even Beyonce at one point had to leave her father as a manager. I believe that there's a ceiling that you're going to reach when you are managed by your parents. There are certain like things that people like, opportunities and things like this, and especially when you get kind of greed, like this kind of greed thing that kind of can happen when you have parents. Like, I'm sure he would probably have looked out for his best interest, but I mean, I don't think that. I mean, how is Joe going to stop a grown man from doing what he wants to do? He's still a grown. He's like what, 56? How old was Michael Jackson when he passed on? Like 50 something years old, 60. So what is his father fixing to do if he want to go get high? I mean, and that's even worse because now he's his manager. He can funnel his money. That's what happens. Like a lot of these managers, these parent managers, they start to be wanting to control everything, and then eventually the child has to get away from them just to be able to get their own money, because now the parents' hand is in the bag.
What about you, Mr. Said? Do you think if his dad was still in his circle, do you think that his life would change for the better or for the worst?
If what was in the circle?
I'm talking. I'm asking Mr. Said.
Oh, sorry.
If his dad was in his circle, I believe his life would have changed for the better, in my opinion. Again, there's always course correction. They could have sat down, maybe saw eye to eye amicably on some things, or did some atonement, whatever the kumbaya situation. But the business savvy, the visionary, like all of the positive attributes, even though I don't agree with him as a dad and some of the tactics that he used, but the visionary aspect, the being willing to be the bad guy and stand on an island in the name of success, completely in line with that. So if he would have kept that on his team, I think, yeah, he might have been even bigger. Came with some sacrifices, but everything does.
What about you, Flo? Will be better or worse? You're muted. Flo, you're muted, by the way.
I think he maybe would have maintained longer. It seems like some of these people, Britney Spears is another good example. Once that external structure is removed from their life, what you're left with is an adult who can't hold themselves up. So he may have maintained longer, but I don't think it would have done much for him in the long run. Just prolonged him.
And finally, Uncle Rick. And Rick, sorry that you have to edit the first 10 minutes of the show. I didn't know that you were streaming. Just edited on the studio. I was playing Michael Jackson. I was like, damn.
Don't worry about it, bro. It ain't nothing.
There's a copyright claim. Go ahead.
We'll let AI do its thing. What was the question again, Fred?
Do you think if he didn't ostracize his dad from his circle, do you think he would have a better outcome? Because now he's more disciplined, that kind of controls all that. Or do you think the outcome is going to be worse?
I think it would have been worse because he didn't want to be with his dad no more.
Sure, but it's like again, I don't want to mention these a lot. The David and the Celeste girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times control comes with you avoiding certain things that is going to happen in your life because you are unsupervised.
Oh, okay. You saying like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay,
it's like if he's kid like, you see what I'm saying? Like
I think he'd have been bigger. Right? Because the talent is undeniable. The talent is undeniable. I think that if he'd have stayed with him, the brothers probably would have got a little bit. I think he would have benefited the family more. He benefited the family a lot, right? But I honestly believe he would benefited the family more as a whole, right? So, and it's like you said, that structure, and it's like Flo said, that structure is what made Michael great, whether people want to believe it or not. Right.
Yeah, I don't. Only thing is that like, see, when these artists step outside of that, and then because of the Hollywood machine, see, there's like how Beyonce looked when her dad was managing her, and then there's Beyonce after, right? And that's where you get the big push. Because I think that there's a point where even like I think when you got that manager, that every group has this manager that the Temptations like. Man, we all can sing. I'll manage you. Y'all can do it. And you got this little small penny manager, and he gets you to a certain point. But when you want to get the real push, they're not going to allow your father to manage you. You're only going to get so far, and you're not going to get that big because they're going to have their handlers around you to be able to make sure that they manage their investment. If you're going to put billions of dollars behind, videos back then worth millions of dollars. They're gonna want to have
Genesis.
To have control on that.
Genesis. Michael Jackson had unlimited money. Michael Jackson is making more money than most, like 99% of anybody alive.
You know what I'm saying?
Like it's infinite money. Like Michael Jackson had so much money coming in that motherfucker was buying everything, like literally buying everything. Right?
Didn't he own a big part of Sony?
It's like no, Jens.
Yeah,
it's like when they say
he was trying to buy Sony.
It's like when they say what is half of infinite, right? Like let's imagine that Michael Jackson loses 30% of his money to his family. Okay, now you don't have 3 billion. Now you have 2 billion point. Like see what I'm saying? Like I don't ever think it was about money, even for the dead.
No,
I think it was about control.
No,
Michael wanted control over his things, and Joe wanted control over his things. I don't think it was about money.
Not just Michael Jackson wanted control. What happens when you get to a certain level in Hollywood, you get hollered at by the powers that be that run things, and your daddy's not going to be able to manage that level of money that they're about to push into your project. They're going to want to manage it. They're going to put a handler, their own handler, not your papa. It's going to be their handler that's okay, listen, I'll give you $100 million, but you're going to have this manager. That's how that works. You can't have Joe be your manager because this money is a part of this group. You know what I'm saying? If you have a fund,
Mike,
your biggest thing, your biggest rollouts, Thriller. These things came with commercials. I'm not sure if y'all remember back in the day, they would interrupt shit to movies and
right.
Joe wasn't capable of doing that. He had a whole machine.
What are you? He was still with Joe when he made Off the Wall.
No, I'm not talking about off the wall. I'm talking about. I'm talking
No,
about.
no, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Remember the time when they cut the movie short and said we're gonna have a premiere of Remember the Time, and they stopped the movie, or at the end of the movie, everybody on their television watched Remember the Time on whatever TV station it was, and that was a national rollout that would happen on TV before there was a MTV, before all this other stuff. They were had Remember the Time, and everybody sat there just like they was watching The Wizard of Oz or any movie. This was done when once he was separated from his father, and that was a huge like $1 million like multi-million-dollar rollout with ad revenue and everything. You're not gonna get that far with your daddy being a manager. They want their handlers to be to run it. That's
Yeah,
how
I don't think that's fair. And you know why I know that's not fair? Because look at LeBron James. LeBron James literally put all his best friends as managers. So everybody on this team they were nobodies, and now right now you have the Rich Paul, which is one of the biggest agents of the NBA, representing hundreds of athletes and clients. Like LeBron James is so great that no matter who is managing him, you are always going to get the results because everybody wants to be on the LeBron James train. I don't think Michael Jackson, dad as an agent, would stop him from dealing with anybody and everybody because Michael Jackson was so big that all these companies would want they would want to have a piece of it, regardless if his dad was working there or not. I don't think that's
I'm
a
not talking about that. I'm talking about when these big corporations give you their money, they assign a handler to you. You're not going to be able to have your own.
sure. But
You're going
when
to go to William
But
Morris
when Michael Jackson, but when Michael,
agency.
but
You're going to go through those agencies
so
because
but
those
Genesis, when he
man,
got the when he got the Pepsi commercial, wasn't he under his dad too?
no, I don't think he. I don't.
Yes.
His dad actually pushed him to do that shit.
That was Billy Jean and stuff. No, after that Pepsi. That's when he did the biggest stuff. The Remember the Times, Black or
Yeah,
White,
sure,
Thriller,
but
all those huge like that's when his once his dad was no longer. That's when his career took that crazy leap. That was way past what his father was able to
and
do.
that was because of his, like, so his dad was holding him back, or there's a natural progression of
There,
a kid star that moves into actually the kid, like, is that not a natural progression of it?
I don't think it's a natural progression, but I think it's a progression when the people that run the industry say, listen, well, we want to take you to the next level, honey. You're gonna have to get rid of your father. They get that phone, they get that meeting. They say, listen, we'll be able to. This is gonna be a knockout the park thing. We're gonna put all of our money into it. We're gonna invest X amount of dollars into it, but it has to be managed by this person over here. That's what happens. You have to get rid of your father won't be able to manage it. You could probably have him work with us, but we're gonna have to have one hedge. It's almost like a hedge fund or an investment firm that like putting money into something. They're gonna want to have their people managing it. They're not gonna because now you're owned by that corporation now. They even
Friends,
have insurance over him, like I'm not was it Universal, whatever label he was on, Universal, whatever. They're now you are owned by that label, so therefore they're going to want to manage their commodity. You're now a piece of you're a product. You're not even a person anymore. So it's not even about your father or not. It's about who's going to manage the investment.
so thank you very much, friends, actually, for being here. And Genesis, you came in a little bit late, but thank you very much once
I'm
again.
sorry, I just got in the house. The next
No,
time,
it's fine. It's fine. All the links of the content creators are going to be in the description. Thank you once again for Rick for giving me 3 hours. That was a interesting show. Thank you very much, Padre Dusty. I appreciate the support and the love. I'll see you around. And I'm going to kick you out of the show so I can read the super chats and then be out. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all on the other side. Friends, I enjoyed the conversation. I didn't come to the conclusion if this man was a villain or not. I don't know about these. I don't know about these. I don't know about these. Cree. And friends, the cash app is empty, but it's totally fine. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much to the only cash app of the day, Mr. Jones. He says, they are two liars, Brody. Salute. Mr. Jones, when I take the picture, will be by himself and the motherfucking um, Pop, Funko Pop. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones, and thank you very much to the lovely Chris. She gifted 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We have the lovely Melanin in the building. She says, if it wasn't for Joe, nobody would care about any of the Jacksons. Stop the cap. Joe gets a bad name. People could learn from Joe. Oh, wait. Thank you very much, Mel. We have B3 Calm. It says, be calm. The idea Joe Jackson didn't propel those kids is insane. The problem is how far he took it. I actually agree with this take. I agree with this take. Lou the legend with the 100 real. He says, anyone who looks at eating at things objectively without realizing Michael knows that Chris Brown is a better artist. If Chris were performing at his current level during Michael's era, he would be Michael. The best part about this, Chris didn't have to get beat on to do it. Social media, my brother. If Michael was here on social media era, oh my God. Oh my motherfucking God. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We have Melanie Legacy saying, shout out to Joe Jackson for not letting anyone stand in his way and doing what's necessary. His kids were on stages, not street corners. Shout out to you, Mel. I appreciate you. Jamal Nizi saying, didn't Beyonce father had to stop the interview? Yep. He stopped an interview when Flow State comes in with our 5 untouchable memberships. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. In the building, we have Tribe called Aries in the building with another membership. Thank you very much for your time, Mr.
The untouchable empire, baby.
I appreciate you. Be calm comes back and says, Jacoby is correct. There needs to be a limit for children. You can see the trauma in the old family. Joe outlived this child. Most parents consider that. We have another one. We have Be Calm saying, it's wild to blame 5-year-old MJ for no social life. Hey, but he chose it, like he started to choose that afterwards. But I get what you're saying. Omi saying that wasn't his baby. Yeah, that was the white woman's baby. Red Lipstick says, brother, number 1, go ahead and walk out. Damn. And finally, my brother Donnell, I hope you're doing good, Donnell. He says, just my opinion, if Joe was still in charge of Michael, Michael would not have become the solo megastar he is today because Joe have never allowed him to leave the Jacksons. I'll say that Joe was more of a family first. Yes. Tomorrow, friends, we have a massive show. Okay. Hey, and you know it's funny, Tony? He's going to be on the show tomorrow. He's going to be on the show tomorrow, which is actually hilarious. We have a massive show, friends, tomorrow. The breaking ground, okay? Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about feminist. Angry Man is going to be the headliner. Is feminist was feminist good for woman, and we're going to go at it. Okay, so I appreciate y'all. I haven't done this in a while, so this is actually pretty dope. I really enjoy just be talking. There's no high stakes, no performance, no clips. Just coming back to the village and do what we used to do. But I don't know if I have a lot of these in me because now the morning show is up and running. Then we go from there. So I appreciate you. See you tomorrow. It's 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we go from there. I'm sending everybody to Cami. So make sure you at least subscribe to her and support her. Okay? Tomorrow, 5 p.m. I'll waiting for you. Team Fatty and the Untouchables. Signing out.
All the
Peace.
comments would be fatty McFat, fat, fatty, 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 fat, fat. Oh, look how fat he is, right? Look at that fatty. You know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And
Ha 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 ha!